On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning, Kevin Durant. You should have left California.
This bronsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Yeah, baby. It's Wednesday. It's Bronsexual Wednesday. We are starting late. I apologize for that. Good morning. Welcome to the late starting Bronsexual Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning, 25 after the hour, as I come to you from Edinburgh, Indiana. You know what hour 2 is. So let's just get right to it. Let's just do this thing, okay? As I'm at Starbucks here in Edinburgh. A couple of my favorite baristas are here in the house, and my friend Kelly is getting married October the 14th, and I'm so happy for her. She's one of my favorites, and I'm happy for her. All right, let's go. This is the one story. I can't find the doggone button. See, when I start late, I can't find buttons. I can't find anything because it's gone. Unless I open it. Okay. I found it. All right. Let's do a one-story whip around presented by Fanatics. Peyton said, quote, "It might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. That's how bad it was." Close quote. Sean Payton, you have no room or no reason to talk because your Broncos are off to an 0-3 start after surrendering 70 points, not 17, 70 points to probably the best offense in the NFL in the Miami Dolphins. You ain't got no room to, after a successful career in New Orleans, you should have stayed retired because you took on basically a rebuilding project with a quarterback that's washed up, receiving core that can't stay healthy, a running game that's non-existent, and a defense that's a sieve. You have no reason and no room to talk, sir. Disastrous coaching job. Well, what do you call what you are doing with the Denver Broncos? A once proud franchise that has won 3 Super Bowls, 2 with John Elway, 1 with Peyton Manning. And y'all are getting consistently punched in the mouth. You're getting punched in the mouth, man. You have no room, no right, or no say whatsoever in what's the worst coaching job. Now, granted, there are 14 games left in this season. I know that. But you got no reason to talk whatsoever. None. N-U-N-N. None. And I know I purposely misspelled that. Well, that's all I have on that one. And Sean Payton, until your team gets better, please shut up. That's a whip around presented by Fanatics. Minutes Lou Holtz stands by his assessment of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And after hearing it on Saturday, I'm inclined to agree. Back after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Media is what you need for all of our social media. As we come to you live from Edinburgh, Indiana. Snowman here with you. Cole Johnson will be along in just a little while. And welcome to those of you watching on CSTV from Reno, Nevada and all points west, and BS3 TV and all points south and southwest. Lou Holtz said something that I am inclined to agree with. After the, well, there's no other way I can describe it, the miraculous win Saturday night by Ohio State at Notre Dame, Lou Holtz said the following. On the Pat McAfee show, Holtz said the Buckeyes were not physical enough, and that's why they had lost high-profile games during his tenure. He also said Notre Dame was a better team. I'm actually in agreement with that, because since Ryan Day has taken over the Ohio State University, except for last year when they got to the playoff and lost a heartbreaker to Georgia I nearly said the Georgia Dome, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What has Ohio State done? Not a damn thing. Not a thing. They're not physical enough. They're not tough enough. And yet they're still ranked in the top 10 in the country. Normally, I won't root for Michigan because I can't stand the Michigan Wolverines. But if you're Ryan Day in Ohio State, you have one job and one job only for the remainder of this season. Prove Lou Holtz wrong, or you're going to get socked in the mouth again at the big house. Because in that rivalry, Michigan and Ohio State, no other games during the season matter except that one. And for the last 2 years, it's been all Michigan. Michigan has thrown a right hook, a left cross, an uppercut, and Ohio State has done nothing to prove them wrong. Nothing. I'll say it again, and I will say it again proudly. Ohio State, in the last 2 years against Michigan, has done nothing. They let one slip away 2 years ago in the big house, and then last year they got ran over in their own house, in the horseshoe. I've never seen that before in the years that I've watched Michigan and Ohio State. And remember, Ohio State was coached by Earl Bruce. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? I mean, for 16 straight games, Michigan got pounded into the dirt by the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I may be off on that. I may be off on that number. I'm not in my office, so I don't have research available to me. But for a long time, it was all Ohio State. And then all of a sudden, Michigan discovered a running game. And the last 2 years, they have run Ohio State over. So Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes, all you have to do is one thing. And you can shut Lou Holtz up and the rest of us Ohio State doubters for good. Prove them wrong. Be physical. Be tough. Be the Ohio State University. Or else you're going to get run over, pounded into the dirt, and blown to smithereens by Michigan again. And frankly, I hope that's what happens until I see different. Until I see the fact that you actually grew a set, Ryan Day. Listen, this is the same Ohio State squad that nearly lost to Northwestern in the Big Ten Championship 3 years ago at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let me say that again. This is the same Ohio State club that's supposed to be all big and bad and tough, and they nearly lost to Northwestern. Were it not for Trey Sermon running for 332 yards, y'all would have lost that one, and the college football playoff would have been in a flat-out uproar. Because I will pose a question that I posed when it happened 3 years ago. What if Northwestern had won the Big Ten title in Indianapolis? What if Northwestern would have upset the mighty Buckeyes in Indianapolis? Do you know how much of an uproar? Do you know how much of an uproar the college football playoff would be in? Because at that point in time, they would have had no choice but to let the Northwestern Wildcats, yes, I'm defending my Wildcats, into the playoff. Because for 3.5 quarters, they socked Ohio State in the mouth and kicked them in the ass. So now, Ryan Day, you have your challenge. If you want to shut Lou Holtz up, prove him wrong. Have your team show its mental toughness. Have your team show toughness, period. Have your team show toughness. That's all you got to do. That is all you have to do. Because if you don't, these words will continue to ring true. And they were proven Saturday night in South Bend. Y'all just got lucky to beat Notre Dame at the last possible second. Back in a minute.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green. And the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition,
dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Indiana. Glad to have y'all with us. Let's go to the Fanatics Feedback Zone. David 3000 Network is in the house with us. Good morning to you, David. Good morning to you, Victor Locke, and to Ryan McCarthy, aka Ryan McCarthy, who celebrated his channel, No Credentials Required, getting 300 subscribers, and it happened over the course of the weekend. The next goal is 500. So if y'all haven't had a chance, please subscribe to No Credentials Required on YouTube. And speaking of which, you can subscribe to this channel, Snowman Multimedia, which houses all the best sports talk shows you will ever watch. Now, I can't believe I was given this gem. Let me get this note in also. The baseball world lost an icon as Brooks Robinson, the multiple-time All-Star third baseman for the Baltimore Orioles, passed away. He was 86 years old. And, man, if there was a third baseman I studied, even though I didn't get a chance to see him live, it was Brooks Robinson. It was number 5 for the Baltimore Orioles. We love you, Brooks. May you rest in peace and rest in power. I'll say more later. Now, Colin bleeping Kaepernick wrote a letter to New York Jets general manager Joe Douglas, asking Douglas to consider signing him to the practice squad. And it wasn't revealed by Kaepernick. It was revealed by J. Cole. Kaepernick said, quote, "I know the aspirations this season were and still are to win a championship, and so that Hall of Fame size hole will need to be filled as best as possible to keep the team on a Super Bowl track." Close quote. What's the song? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Which way do I want to lean with this one? First of all, Colin Kaepernick, put the pen down. You're not going to get signed by the New York Jets. You can't play football anymore. You're out of I won't say you're out of shape. That would be too mean of me. But you can't play football anymore. All right? You'd still be in the league if you didn't stupidly opt out of your contract with the San Francisco 49ers. Mr. Kaepernick, you are an absolute clown. All right? You had an open tryout, but you stupidly changed the location and the time so your people can see you, but not the right people can see you. And then you want to talk collusion and take a settlement, and people to this day are still saying Colin Kaepernick was blackballed out of the league. No, he was not. Let me say this one time. No, I'm going to keep saying it until the message is driven home. And it goes like this. Colin Kaepernick was not screwed. Colin Kaepernick screwed himself. Okay? Let me say that again. Colin Kaepernick was not screwed by the NFL. Colin Kaepernick screwed himself. I know you try to play through injuries. I understand that. I totally get that. And I'm not judging by the things that he did off the field. I'm judging by the things he did on the field. And after that season where he took the 49ers to Super Bowl 47, which was only half of a season, he hadn't done much. He has not done much. Matter of fact, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for making this comparison, but I'm going to go ahead and make this comparison anyway because it applies. It goes like this. Colin Kaepernick is in the same boat as one Cameron Jarrell Newton. And the boat that he's in is this. You can't play football anymore. You don't have the skills. You don't have the heart. You don't have the desire. And the desire you need is to get better and actually learn to play the quarterback position. Now, Cam Newton was a fabulous athlete at the quarterback position, but he never learned to play the position correctly. How about that? You just about had a job with the Ravens, and your girlfriend at the time screwed it up for you. Okay? By opening her big mouth. And then there was the situation you had an open tryout, and then you changed the location with your big mouth. Colin Kaepernick, you need to go. You need to just put the pen down, right off into the sunset, and just say bye-bye. Because you ain't getting another chance in the National Football League. A league that you sued, by the way. A league that you sued, got a settlement for, and now you want to play in that same league saying that they colluded against you? Man, what kind of hypocrite are you? What kind of Hippocratic oath did you take? Rob Carlton, at least Newton at one point was really good. No, he was not. Because Newton ran the ball most of the time. I'll challenge the notion that Cam Newton was good. Cam Newton was as good as the offense around him. And then Super Bowl 50 happened. And then Super Bowl 50 happened where he acted like a petulant child. He didn't want to dive after the football after it was whacked out of his hands by Von Miller. And Michael 3000, shut your face. Colin Kaepernick is nowhere near better than Brock Purdy. So shut your face. If Colin Kaepernick was, let me say it this way. If Colin Kaepernick was better than Brock Purdy, Colin Kaepernick would have a job. Brock Purdy is an actual quarterback. Brock Purdy wants to get better. Save Zach Wilson. Every young quarterback that's in the league right now wants to get better. Sorry, Ryan. I had to take that playful shot. He didn't get it. Yes, he did get a chance to show it. He had a chance for 3 years to show that he got better. All he did was get bitter. Now, I will say this out loud. Part of the blame for the failure of Colin Kaepernick, I put on Jim Harbaugh. Because after the NFC Championship against the Seattle Seahawks, he should have rebuilt that offensive line. He should have built that offensive line Period. That part of the blame I put on Jim Harbaugh and the San Francisco 49ers for not getting Kaepernick the weapons he needed. And the weapons he needed at the time was an offensive line, a better offensive line, because the Legion of Boom cut them to shreds in the second half in Seattle. Now, there were some plays in that game that should have gone the 49ers' way, but didn't. All right? That's an argument, and that's a discussion for another time. I'm talking about this right here. I'm talking about this time right here, this letter that he penned to Joe Douglas, and I hope Joe Douglas ripped it to shreds and put it in the shredder. I hope he put it in the shredder and doesn't give him a second look. If Kaepernick got better at his job, if Kaepernick got better at playing the quarterback position, and he had several chances, he'd have a job right now. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it, and I won't buy it. And by the way, Colin Kaepernick is in his 30s right now. Now, there is one unknown with Kaepernick. In 2013 and 14, he played through several injuries. I'll give him that. Some that he didn't disclose. Now, do we know? And Cool McCain brings up a very valid point. Would we know how much? And it makes me retract one of my statements. Would we know how much better he really would have gotten had he been able to take the time to really heal from all of his injuries? No. Which brings Cool's point to light. And Cool, you're right. I will retract one of my statements where I said earlier in this conversation that he's had chances to get better. In essence, he has, and in essence, he has not. So that bit of unfairness I will highlight, and I will say, Mr. McCain, you are correct in that argument. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint not of a fan, but as an analyst. There are sometimes he has had chances to get better, and he didn't. Some of it was because of himself. Some of it was because of the play calling. Some of it was on Jim Harbaugh. All of that comes into play. All of that comes into play. But if you look at the numbers, since people want to go to stats, look at the pure unadulterated numbers of Colin Kaepernick. Since 2012, when he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, matter of fact, I'll go one step further. Since the first game of the 2013 season, where he wrecked Green Bay for 412 yards, his stats and his completion percentage has gone consistently down. It's gone down. Now, each year he's thrown for 3,000 yards. That he was in each full season he was in San Francisco. And San Francisco's thrown for 3,000 yards. But the completion percentage went down. The QBR went down. And Michael 3000, I can base what I'm about to say on a lot of things that I've seen between Brock Purdy and Colin Kaepernick. And Brock Purdy is just flat out better as a quarterback. Those are my keywords. As a quarterback. And I'll repeat something I said earlier. Brock Purdy wants to get better. Now, if Joe Douglas gives Colin Kaepernick a chance, then it renders this conversation moot. And I'm willing to eat that L if it happens. I am. I'm willing to eat that L if it happens. Aside of that, I see nothing in Kaepernick that would make me, if I was a GM, take a chance on him. And to prove my point, look at the 2015 or 2016 seasons. You had a chance, and I'll highlight a couple of games. 2014 and 2016, you played the Chicago Bears, once in Levi's Stadium, once at Soldier Field. And aside of the first half of the 2014 game, at Levi Stadium where you directed the 49ers to a 20-0 lead, you got buried in the dirt, in the ground. But again, to bring up a point that I said earlier, a lot of it was because Jim Harbaugh and that ownership group at the time and the GM at the time did not want to rebuild the offensive line. Mistake on their part. And Victor brings up a good point. He also called the NFL a bunch of slave owners. Why would you want to work for slave owners? Why would you want to play in a league where you called every owner in the league slave owners? Why would you want to play in a league that you said colluded against you? Mr. Kaepernick, quit being a hypocrite, please. Just and you I don't know how much weight this is going to hold, but I will go ahead and say it. All right? If I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. But why didn't you show the letter yourself? Why did you allow, and yes, I said allow, J. Cole to show the letter? Why didn't you show the letter yourself? Matter of fact, why didn't you get bold enough and go to Jets camp? You're a former player. Now, I don't know how the permissions work, not having played in the NFL, been around a few teams, yes. But as far as a player a former player goes, I would think they'd let you in. I would think. I could be totally wrong, and in fact, I think I am totally wrong. I don't know how it works. I do not know how those permissions work. But Colin Kaepernick, you a fool. To 1 minute call the NFL, and thank you, Victor, again. Let me highlight this. Once again, you called the NFL a bunch of slave owners. Why would you want to work for them if they're a bunch of slave owners? Why would you want to work for them if they're working so hard to keep you down? You know what, Colin Kaepernick? You kept yourself down by not getting better at your game, by not getting better as a quarterback, by not getting completely healthy. And again, I place part of the blame on my beloved 49ers because at the time they were a dumpster fire before Jim Harbaugh decided to take his ball and run to Michigan. Before he decided to take his ball and run to Michigan and did not identify the problems with the 49ers, which started right along the front. The offensive line. Colin Kaepernick, go away. Just go away. Brock Purdy is one of the reasons Jaden Hart was offered by Iowa State. At a one-day camp, Jaden was catching footballs from him. Good. Courtney, I got a question. Is he at Iowa State? Or am I jumping ahead here? I'll get an answer to that when we get back. But my sentence remains. Colin Kaepernick, you screwed yourself. Now go away and leave us football fans alone. Hour 2 after this.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green. And the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
I fired the first shot because I was tired of him sending these memes about the Cowboys. So I fired the first few shots. Mm-hmm. And I need to be able to win this weekend to fire some more shots. And yeah. I am petty. I am upset. We are 0-10 the last 10 games. Something has to change. Something has to change. So, Giants, please listen to me. I'm begging you. Win. I need to end this. I need to be able to respond to Cowboy fans and not with my head bowed down. So let's go, Giants. I'm starting a new thing. Dallas.
Oh, Lord.
Everything Boston. I love you, you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
2 minutes after the hour. It's hour 2, and in Cole's stead, I will play this, and I can't believe we put this together, but he did, and I love it. You fool! Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this camera. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It's always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen. I mean, how brilliant is that? That he put that he put that together. All right, you know what's coming.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPM. Now approve all this.
And of course, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen. Dear God. Here we go.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned,
there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
I was minding my business. I honestly was. I was running late because I had to drop my daughter at an interview, and I got here to Starbucks. I messaged Cole. I said, do we have a link ready? Do we have a slate ready? And he sent it to me, and I was looking it over, doing good. And then, bam, that happened. Now, for those of you who cannot read it, I will read it for you. And I can't believe I'm going to read this. Phil Jackson was asked, would LeBron James dominate the league in the 80s and 90s? Phil said, quote, no, I don't think so. In the 80s and 90s era, they defended themselves more. It was a very different game. It was a physical game, a long and very rough game. This era is more about shooters than defenders. I don't envision him being defended by an Isaiah Thomas or a Dennis Rodman wanting to take the ball. He is a great athlete with a good physique, but he would not dominate that era. He would be a very talented player. At that time, there were many. Amen, amen, and amen. Phil Jackson. You heard that right. LeBron James would not dominate any era, okay? Let me go one step further. He hasn't dominated this era. Kobe Bryant has, Tim Duncan has, Stephen Curry has, but LeBron hasn't. Which leads to my ever-present statement of LeBron James is a fabulous athlete. Okay? Fabulous athlete. Nothing like him. Nothing like him at all. At all. As far as a good basketball player, no. Matter of fact, let me add a few things. Let me pose a question. Bishop Bullwinkle, is LeBron James even a good basketball player?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Is LeBron even a decent basketball player? Thank you. He's not even a good basketball player, and people want to crown him the greatest player of all. Is LeBron James the greatest player of all time?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Dear God. LeBron James the greatest player.
Stop the cap.
I had someone challenge me once saying I couldn't name 10 forwards that were better than LeBron James. No, I can't name 10. I can name 100. And that is not including the Hall of Fame list I have in mind, like James Worthy, like Scottie Pippen, like Larry Bird, like Sir Charles Barkley, like Tim Duncan. And those 5 alone had something LeBron has never had in full. Fundamentals. Pretty simple. Fundamentals. Fundamentals get you far in the NBA. Okay? The fundamentals of a post game, the fundamentals of a jump shot, the fundamentals of, making free throws. And don't even get me started on the people that compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan. Don't even get me started with that. Michael Jordan's worst year from the free throw line equals LeBron James's career average from the free throw line. Let me say that again. Michael Jordan's worst year from the free throw line equals LeBron James's career average from the free throw line. You understand that? Good. So all you bronzexuals, take one of these. And do me a small favor. Get the hell out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
Dear God. Back in a minute.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Cause we take this job so serious.
Y'all know what? Hey, cool. You know how much I hate this out with a passion.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
All right. I'm going to tell you guys that I'm going to cut this episode short because my daughter is waiting on me. So I'm going to fly through the next two subjects and then I'm going to shut it down for the day. But you will see a full replay of this episode on SITM Daily on the YouTube channel. Let me highlight this. Hawk TV says if Muhammad Ali was granted a chance to resume his boxing career, Colin should be able to resume his football career. Wrong answer. Different time, different situation. Muhammad Ali was forced away. Colin Kaepernick walked away. Didn't think about that, did you? Okay. Now that I got that off my chest, I'm going to make this a 2-for-1 because, as I said, I have to close up shop early because I got to go get my daughter. But always remember, and I will always say this very sarcastically, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you, forever and ever. Amen. Let's get this over with.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
As I said, I was minding my business, waiting on the stuff from Cole, and then BAM! I'm not even gonna entertain reading this aloud because this graphic right here shows the absolute stupidity, the absolute lack of research, and the absolute what's the term that Cole used? Idiocy of bronzexuals. So you're comparing, so these stupid, idiotic, backwards bronzexuals want to compare the career that Jordan had before Scottie Pippen and LeBron James's career before Miami. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? Let me put this back on. I won't read it. I'll let y'all decipher this for yourself. Bam. You know, this is an illogical, incorrect, and stupid comparison. Stupid. This is a stupid comparison. Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to the fact that Michael Jordan won 6 titles without a loss in a World Championship Series. Now, LeBron James has 4 titles, but he's lost 6 times. And he will never, ever, 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 ever. I am looking into this camera and I'm looking into the eyes of all these beady-eyed bronzexuals by saying the following. LeBron will never, ever, ever, ever compete for a world championship again. Ever. So you can take this comparison, which is a stupid comparison at best. Because unlike LeBron James, Michael Jordan got better at his game. He got better at his craft. He got better at his skills. Oh, and by the way, Michael Jordan faced much better teams. He faced much stiffer competition. And he had to learn. LeBron James had the league handed to him on a silver platter and hasn't done a doggone thing with it. Which leads to my closing statement for this particular bronzexual segment. He's a fabulous athlete, but he sucks as a basketball player. Because, yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you forever and ever. Amen. One more, because my daughter just texted me. And then there's this. Bam. You can just look at that and tell the stupidity of this. You can just take a look at that and tell the stupidity. The greatest overall basketball player in NBA history. The greatest overall basketball player in NBA history. I'll just close up shop right now by saying, who told this lie? Who told this lie? Greatest overall basketball player in history? That is the stupidest lie that's ever been told. And it's the stupidest lie that will forever be told. Greatest overall basketball player in history? I hate to say this, bronze sexuals, and I hate to say this, LeBron, but it ain't you. It is not you. It will never be you because you're not even a good basketball player. Now get the hell out of my face.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzexual Confessions.
Go. This full episode will be on the SITM daily replay. I have a baby girl waiting for me, and daughters cannot be patient. I mean that jokingly, Sonia. I'm on my way. I will see y'all tomorrow for a full episode. God bless you. So long, everybody.